have a really exciting haul for you today. I have some new releases that I wanted to show you that I got. I also went book thrifting, but I kind of went overboard because one of the book sales I went to, everything was $1, but I might do a separate video for that because then it's just gonna get too overwhelming. So today I'm gonna focus on like mostly new releases, honestly, and then maybe a couple of others that I just found when I was book thrifting or at a book sale. So I'm just really excited to show you, so let's just get started. The first one here, I've been reading this for over a month now and I'm really enjoying it, don't get me wrong. I have a little bit left to go, so hopefully I'll talk about it in my May wrap up, but it's called One for My Enemy by Olivie or Olivie Blake. And she's so cool because she writes in so many different genres, like adult fantasy, YA, rom-com, like so many kinds. And this is my first book that I'm reading from her, and now I'm reading her YA book, but I'll talk about that later. This is basically about two families in modern day New York, and each family is a family of witches, but they hate each other. They're legit like sworn enemies, mortal enemies, and it's so interesting because it has magic in it, but it takes place in modern day, and they're basically feuding and fighting, and it's a Shakespeare retelling, I believe a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, which I actually have not read, which is strange because I studied Shakespeare in college. Well, I took like 2 Shakespeare classes in college. In one class I missed the Romeo and Juliet day, and the other class we never got to it because the professor probably assumed that we'd all read it. So it's interesting for me, but I mean, I know the gist of like how the story goes. And what's super unique about this book is that it's actually divided into 5 acts and scenes, and it's got paintings in it, like it shows the different families. This is the family of female witches and the family of male, you can kind of see it, of male witches. And I'm really enjoying this, but you know, supposed to save that for the wrap up, so I'll just say I did buy this book and I got it at Target in case you were interested in where I got it from. So speaking of Olivie Blake, I did also get her YA debut, and this is a rom-com called My Mechanical Romance, and it's by Alexene Farol Follmuth, because I think that's her like actual name, and it's also the name she goes by for YA. And this is basically about high schoolers in STEM. It's told in dual POV from both love interests. The girl just transferred to this STEM sort of school for her senior year, and she feels like she's not really interested in much, and so throughout this book she has to discover what it is she likes to do, and she's starting to discover that she loves making robots, so she joins the robotics team. But the guy who's in charge of the robotics team, just such a leader, like too much of a leader, where he doesn't let other people talk always, and so they kind of butt heads and then start forming this friendship, and it's like really good so far. It's really sweet. So I'm excited to talk about this in my wrap up because I have a really good feeling I will finish it before the end of the month. And I got this one from Barnes & Noble through the pre-order sale that happened about a month or 2 ago. Next, I found this when I was thrifting the other day. I was at this used bookstore called Open Books, and they had 50% off fiction that day, so I was really happy when I found this. It's called Twice Shy by Sarah Hogle. I have read part of You Deserve Each Other and couldn't get into it, but I have heard good things from several people, and I want to give it another try. But I've heard really good things about Twice Shy, so I decided to pick it up. I believe it's a new adult romance, and I don't really know much about it. I think it's basically about this woman who like goes to help take care of an inn or like some sort of place, and then she butts heads with the groundskeeper who's like super grouchy, and it says, "Can you find real love when you've always got your head in the clouds?" So I'm definitely intrigued. You know, I love me some romance. The next one, okay, so I was gonna read Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, but my friend is a huge Abby Jimenez fan, and she's like, no, go back to the beginning and start with her first book and read them in order of publication because they're all companion novels and you don't want to spoil anything for yourself. So I was like, fine. And she said, come over and borrow the first 3 books, and I was like, no, I can't wait. So I ordered The Friend Zone, and it arrived later that night from Amazon, which is wild. And here we go. This is Abby Jimenez's debut, The Friend Zone, and it's told in dual POV between the love interests. Basically, the female main character is going to be a maid of honor in her best friend's wedding, and then the groom's best man is his best friend, and they've never met before, but then they meet and she hires him, and so they have this like working relationship that turns into friendship, and they both want it to be something more, but there are like very serious things in the way of their relationship. Like, this was a very serious and beautiful book, and if you read this, I do recommend reading the author's note at the end to get a little more insight into like what went into this book and what the true message of the story is. But it was incredible. I laughed, I cried, like I just wanted to keep reading this book. I didn't want to put it down, and it's been a while since I've truly felt that way about a book, like how I just wanted to keep picking it up and keep picking it up. It was incredible. I read it over the course of a couple days, and I cannot recommend this enough. I know it's not a wrap up, but like I just had to say I'm so excited to keep reading books from Abby Jimenez. Oh my gosh. Quick interruption because I want to talk to you about today's sponsor. So thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. I highly recommend BetterHelp. I have used it personally for a long time and it's been really helpful for me in finding ways to cope with anxious thoughts and anxious moments that I have. I feel like my therapist has helped me add a lot of tools to my toolbox, and we've been doing cognitive behavioral therapy for a while, which has been great. So the really cool thing about BetterHelp is that they are the world's largest therapy service, and it is 100% online, and they have a wide range, a wide network of over 30,000 licensed therapists who are well equipped to help you with a range of issues. And all you have to do is answer a couple questions about your needs and preferences in therapy, so BetterHelp can match you with the perfect therapist for you. And it's really great because you can talk to your therapist in different ways. Like you can text them or chat, you can video call, you can phone call, and when it comes to scheduling, it's always super convenient. Like there are a bunch of different options when it comes to scheduling your live session throughout the week. And also, if you don't think that your therapist is the right fit for you, then you can definitely switch over, get a new therapist at no additional cost, which is great. And with BetterHelp, you get the professionalism and quality that you would expect with in-office therapy, except here the scheduling is way more convenient, it's way more affordable, and again, like it's 100% online, and the therapist is custom picked for you, which is great. So if trying BetterHelp, that's better, H-E-L-P, BetterHelp is something that you're interested in, definitely check out my link in the description below. It's going to be BetterHelp/EatBreatheBooks, and that way you'll get 10% off your first month. So I really hope that if you happen to be struggling with anything, that things get better and that you give BetterHelp a try and that it helps you. And thanks so much for listening, and back to the books. Did you think I wasn't gonna haul Happy Place by Emily Henry? One of my favorite authors. Already read this. Can't wait to talk about it in my wrap up. I loved it. Spoiler alert. You probably know what it's about at this point, but if you don't, it's about 6 best friends who go to hang out at this house that one of the friends' dads owns, and they've always spent like time together every year ever since college, and this is their way of like rekindling their not rekindling, but it's their way of like spending time together after not seeing each other for a while. This time it's different because it's the last hurrah. The house is about to be sold. It's their last week in this home beach house, which also I just loved like the atmosphere of this book. It's set in Maine in a small town. It's beautiful. And the protagonist has to fake date her ex-fiance because people don't know that they broke up, and there's a reason why they can't announce it. And I just loved it for the romance in it and how it goes back in time and brings you back and forth over the course of the 10 years of their relationship and what happened. And the vibes of the beach house were really good, and I'm excited to talk about this in my wrap up. But yes, of course I had to haul Happy Place by Emily Henry. Of course I also had to get Meet Me at the Lake by Carley Fortune. I pre-ordered this in the Barnes & Noble sale as well. I haven't been saying where I've gotten every book from. Well, okay, I got this at Target, Barnes & Noble pre-order sale, and I'm so excited to read this. I haven't read it yet because I was scared that if I read it right after Happy Place, I would like mesh the two atmospheres together because they both have that like beachy, lakey, small town kind of vibe. But I'm definitely excited to get into this hopefully soon. I really loved Every Summer After, so I'm excited about Meet Me at the Lake. I think it's about a woman who, it's like a second chance romance. She hasn't seen the person she loves in a really long time. She's gonna go take care of an inn at this lake, in this lake environment. Oh my gosh, lake town. In a lake town? In Canada? I don't know. I'm excited. For the next 3 books, I'm gonna mention them all together. So we have The Cheat Sheet, One in Rome, and you guessed it, Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I think I ordered all of these during the Target buy one get one half off sale that happened a couple weeks ago, but my friend Jennifer loves Sarah Adams books and recommended them to me, and I know this one just came out and I was so intrigued by the cover and all the good reviews, and she was like, no, you have to read the first one in the companion series first, and no, you also have to read her really popular book, The Cheat Sheet. So I think this one's like a football romance. This one is about a pop star who runs away to a small town and falls in love with a baker. It's like a retelling of Roman Holiday. And then this one's a companion novel about a bodyguard and someone else who like fall in love, and they're mentioned in One in Rome. I'm really excited to get into these, and I heard that these are new adult romance closed door, which is totally up my alley, so I'm over the moon excited to read these. I also really want to mention The Marriage Box, and this is by Corie, Adjini. I want to say thank you so much to Booksparks for sending me an arc of this book. I'm so excited to get into it. It takes place in the 1970s, and the protagonist is a Middle Eastern Jew. She's Syrian, and being a Middle Eastern Jew, not Syrian, but a Jew and Middle Eastern, I'm so excited to read about the representation in the story and to learn more about it. It sounds like it takes place in New Orleans. Oh no, she lives in New Orleans, but then she gets sent to her original community community in Brooklyn, and she's gonna go through all these different like experiences, I guess. I'm not really sure. I think she may have gotten in trouble and got sent home. It says it's a brilliant coming of age story. I'm very much looking forward to this. My friend Kayla, or Kayla Reads Books on Instagram, love her Bookstagram account. You should definitely follow her if you're interested. She hyped this book up and said it was really good. So again, thank you Booksparks for the ARC, or I guess actually it looks like a finished copy. Thank you Booksparks for the finished copy, and I'm so excited to get into this. I'm gonna talk about one more book and then hopefully do like another part talking about more books that I got, because I don't want this video to get too long and I have to go. So this is Throwback by Maurene Goo, highly anticipated for me because I love her YA romance stories, and she finally released another one, and I just finished reading this yesterday, so I'm really excited to talk about it in my wrap-up. Basically, it's about this girl who gets in a huge fight with her mom in present day, and then she finds herself in 1995, which is when her mom was a senior in high school, and she basically has to like befriend her mom and complete what she thinks her mission is in order to get back to present day. It's a beautiful mother-daughter story. There's also a really sweet romance in it, and I just love all the 90s references. And if you like books that have time travel but don't go deep into like the science and the magic and the mystery behind it, and you're just riding the vibes and the wave of time travel, then this is definitely a good one to read. I really would recommend this one. But again, I'm excited to talk about this more in my wrap-up. Okay guys, well thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Make sure to check out BetterHelp as mentioned. All the info will be down in the description box below. Comment down below letting me know if you have acquired any new books recently, or letting me know what you're currently reading, because I'd love to know. And like the video because it helps me a lot, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!